Hey everyone, this is Ryan, health fitness professional with the Cardinal Health site in Mansfield, Massachusetts. For this workout of the week, we're going to be doing some isometric exercises, meaning we're going to stay low to the ground while holding a squat or push-up. While we're low to the ground, we're going to be doing certain motions with our legs or arms. One, to keep our mind off of what we're doing, and two, these motions will help us with our balance. It's going to help engage our core. The ways that this is going to work is there are going to be 4 rounds of these exercises. Each one is going to be a little bit shorter than the previous one. So for the first set, it's going to last about a minute. After that, we'll drop 15 seconds, and we'll keep doing that as the rounds go by. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first round, which is going to be 60 seconds for each of the 4 different exercises I have for you. After that, you can do the next 3 rounds on your own at your own time. So let's all stand up and get started with the squat. First thing you'll notice is that my feet and knees are together for the squat. I'm going to keep them together for this exercise because it'll be easier as I transition from one leg to the other, and it's going to be easier for me to keep my balance as I step back and to the side. As you can see, I'm stepping back and then to the side with one leg, and that's when I transition from the right to the left, or the left to the right. The challenging part for this exercise is definitely keeping the knees and hips bent while staying in as low of a squat as I can for the 60 seconds I have for this exercise. Last thing I want to mention is make sure that your core and your glutes are as tight as can be during the entirety of the exercise. Doing so will help to keep your back nice and flat. Next up, we have the low push-up with the side steps. For this one, you want to bring yourself as low to the ground as possible without your chest actually touching the floor. About 2 to 6 inches will do. Keep your arms and hands steady as you step out to the side. You don't have to step out too far to the side, probably about a foot or so. Now as we transition to a side view, I want to show you a more challenging motion you can do, which is the spider motion or the oblique crunches. I find the 2 more challenging parts for this type of exercise is maintaining that hover at about 2 to 6 inches while keeping your lower back from dropping towards the floor. With that said, make sure your arms stay nice and steady, and as long as you keep your core tight, you should be able to avoid touching the floor with any parts of your body. Next up, we're going to hold a mid-crunch position, and for the motion, we're going to do what's called swimmer's kick. So with this exercise, I immediately went into the more challenging version, which is hovering my feet over the floor, keeping them from touching the floor at any point. If you're having trouble with this at all, you can keep your feet on the floor and lift one leg at a time. I'm also keeping my palms on the floor on either side of my hips while keeping my chin close to my chest. I find this to be the best position to be in for this type of exercise, especially when it comes to keeping yourself from getting injured. And as you can see with the side view, you'll notice that my knees do have a slight bend in them. That's mainly because my hamstrings are very tight. I'm not the most flexible person in the world. However, so long as I keep my legs as straight as possible, I'm going to get as much out of this exercise as I can. Same thing with my back. I want to make sure that that stays slightly rounded. It's going to make it a lot easier for me to contract the core during this exercise. And for the final exercise for this workout of the week, we're going to hold a plank. During this time, I want to do some tilting with the hips, both the anterior and posterior tilt. Basically, what that means is I'm going to round my back, pulling my hips in as if I'm trying to get my belly button to touch my chest. Once I do, I'm going to release that position and simply go back into a flat back position. As I transition from one position to the next, I want it to last about a second so I can get a really good contraction in for the core, especially when I bring my belly button towards my chest. For anyone whose hands or wrists tire out in a plank like mine do, you can do half of them on the high plank, which is on your hands, and then you can transition into a low plank onto your elbows if that makes it easier for you. Again, you do not have to do this. This is an option for anyone who's doing this at home. Whether you're in high plank or low plank position, if keeping the core tight is not the most important thing, it has to be keeping the neck nice and neutral. So try to avoid looking to the side, looking ahead. Best thing for you to do is keep your chin down and keeping your eyes on the floor. So there you go, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Again, this is just the first round where I did about 60 seconds for each of the exercises. As you go into round 2, make it 45. Round 3 is 30, and round 4 is 15 seconds total. As always, be sure to check out our other playlists on our YouTube page, such as dumbbells, kettlebells, garage gains. You can always check out our website as well if you're looking for other services we are providing for you, whether you're at home or if you're in the office with us. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next workout.